You happy Wednesday. I can't believe it's Wednesday. These weeks are flying by. The summer's flying by. My kids go back to school in 2 weeks already. It's insane. But anyway, let me let Linda in here real quick. Today I'm really looking forward to this. Reden and I talked 2 weeks ago, I think it was, about so I'm letting people in and getting rid of note takers and all that stuff. About he was saying how he's like, look, man, I've got this sort of set of knowledge coming from the Marines that I really think I can help people with from a leadership perspective and everything else. And we just sort of workshop through it and said, well, man, why don't we break it down into something really tangible and actionable for Emerge and feature you on one of these Wednesday calls? And he lovingly agreed. So I know he's prepared. We haven't had a chance to really talk in advance, but I know he's prepared some ideas and thoughts on sort of like some terminology that the Marines use and also some structures that the Marines use to really drive at scaling and growing business, whatever that is, whether it's a real estate portfolio, whether it's your actual business that you own, you name it, your life for that matter. But just principles that I think we could really learn from a guy who's been on the inside, recently retired from the military, and we can roll from there. There was something else I was going to say just now, and it just completely slipped my mind. So it may not have been that important. But without further ado, let's get a quiet clap for our friend, Reden Dinios. I always mess it up.
Yeah.
D. Reden D. That's who he is. Good to see you, buddy.
What's up, Jamie? How's it going, everybody?
Good, good, good. All right. So give me a little context on, you didn't specifically say, hey, I'd love to do this, but I kind of suggested to you, but like, give me some context for your backstory and why you think this could be of value to people.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So first off, wanted to correct you. I was in the Navy. That was stationed with Marines. Okay. So that
Okay.
wasn't
You
in the
told
Marine
me
Corps.
Marine. I thought we could use Marine
Well,
in the heading.
the framework we're going to talk about is something that I took from the Marines because I've been deployed to, not so nice places
Got you.
with the Marines as a corpsman, which is kind of like a medic, right? And so really just to dive into it, this framework that we use is the same framework that we use before we go on every mission, before we go out on patrol, outside the wire is what they would call it, right? So it's the same framework that we use in battlefield. And I think it's, basically I've seen other articles and links to it as far as like how this can be used in business as well. So just
Okay.
wanted to share that wisdom with everybody here in the Emerge community. So
Beautiful. Well, take us through it. What is it that we should start thinking about when it comes to scaling to think like a Marine, not Navy, but kind of Navy Marine?
all right. So the framework that I have is called in the military, it's called the 5 paragraph order, right? It's an acronym called SMEAC. Um, so SMEAC is situation, mission, execution, admin, and logistics, and completion of the mission, right? Um,
What
that's
was
a
the E?
lot.
Sorry, situation, mission.
Yeah. So situation, it's called the 5 paragraph order. So it's situation, mission,
Yep.
execution, admin and logistics, so administration and logistics. And then the last one is command and signal, which is basically completion of the mission.
Got it. I want to make sure I included that in the chat. So continue. I apologize.
Yeah. So yeah, with that, that's kind of like a lot to go over in like an hour or how much time we have left. So I wanted to just make sure that everybody has gets a takeaway from this is just we can go over that first section, which is the situation, right? So why would this be? And I didn't really have any of the presentation prepared. I did send out like a PDF that maybe Jamie you can share with the group.
Let me
But
find it.
basically, what's that?
I'm going to find it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, the situation is basically what's the lay of the land in your business? Are you growing? Are you scaling? Are you just starting up? Right. And there's like these 5 key questions that you need to ask yourselves in this section. You would just go over that now, or
Yep, I got it. Hold on. I'm pulling it up right now for you. Right here. You see that?
yep, there is. So again, focusing on that left part, the situation, right? So terrain, like, so where are you at right now? Like I mentioned, are you scaling? Are you just growing? Are you just starting out? Um, what threatens your success? Now it says enemy on there, but as far as like what threatens your success, is that something internal or external? Internal is like, are you like just do you need to just get out of your own way as far as like to be successful? Are you just doing it all like we always do, right? Like in the beginning, we wear all the hats and are we want to take control of everything, and we don't want to let go of that control. Friendly forces, like, okay, so who are those teams? Who are those support systems? Who are your A plus players in your business? Um, Attachments and detachments. That's more of like, what are the gaps that you are seeing? What are the gaps that you don't see? And who are those additional systems or people that can help you out? And then weather and time, that's like more of like the market forces or the time pressure. So like, what is the environment looking like in your specific, I don't know, like industry or business, so to say.
Reden, real quick before you continue, I have a couple questions, and actually, I want to get the a group chat going on one of these questions. But the first question for you is, all right, so if I'm sitting here and I'm saying, all right, I like this military framing. We're going to talk about situation, and then you've got this sort of framework. What's the terrain? Like, where are you? What threatens you? So on and so forth. When do you do this? You said before each mission. So in a business setting, when is this like? The beginning of the year? Is it something you would see implementing or doing as you make different changes in monthly meetings? Like, what is the most optimal way for a business owner or investor to use this? Is it like an annual thing, or is it more nimble than that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I mean, like, I guess wherever you are, like if you're going into a business that you're thinking of, that's definitely the perfect time to do this, right? If you're already in that business, maybe doing like you can do like a monthly, quarterly check and go over these questions, go over the situation, the lay of the land, so to say. Or you can do like you mentioned, like an annual. So it kind of varies depending on where you're at, because we all know, right? Like things can change at any point. So it's
Yeah.
good to have this framework as a talking point with if it's just you or your team.
I've just learned this in trying to balance multiple things, family, different businesses, different verticals, if you will. That yeah, like I need something to fall to. Like they always say, like you fall to the what is it? Like you fall to the what the hell is it? Or you're as good as your worst system or something like that. You fall to like your most secure system or process. And so like something like this is something you
Yeah.
can fall to. The other question I was going to ask, and this is of the group, especially on that enemy one that you mentioned. You fall to the level of your training. Thank you, one. That enemy one that you mentioned. I'm curious from the group. Just drop it in the chat. When you think about your business that you've started, that you want to start, that you're trying to scale, maybe it's a real estate portfolio or whatever, fall to the level of your systems. That's right, Michael. Thank you. Brian David, Michael, Brendan David. Um, what is your enemy? What threatens your success? I'm curious what you guys say. Drop that in the chat. We'll even wait a second here and I'll filibuster through. But I'd really love to workshop that one for a second. What is your enemy? What threatens your success? Drop that in the chat. I have a feeling I know the answer. So let's see what you guys say. What is your enemy? Cash flow, which is
Cash
keyed
flow.
to price cost margins. Greg, I'm curious, is that an enemy or is that more the weather time market force pressure? Timothy, my own limiting beliefs, getting potentially qualified leads to respond. Okay. What else? What threatens your success? Nick Simpson left. He didn't want to tell us. He'll be back. He's always has like an issue with his connection. What else? What threatens your success? What's the enemy? Right. W2 stealing all my time and energy. Okay. Threatens your success. Playing smaller than I think I can. Give me one more. Just because I'm refusing to let all of you stare at the screen and not participate. So we'll awkwardly sit and wait till you guys have one or two. Playing smaller than I think I can. Procrastination, comfort. I like that. Okay. So I think for me, there's a few of these that are really good. You know, like W2 Matt is very tactile and tangible. Um, yeah, I'm looking at your model.
I feel
Qualified
like the
leads.
cash.
What's
I feel
that?
like with Greg, that cash flow, that would fall under more of like the time pressure or that weather time section or that question right there.
Yeah, market forces, right? And
Market
even
forces.
to an extent, I think about potentially qualified leads to respond, like Sean's talking about. And I get this, I completely get it. The reason I say that is if you look across one of the businesses I have is Emerge. So responsiveness from potential leads that want to join an Emerge. I talk to people in other industries that are similar, coaching, mastermind, all of that. And they're all kind of in that same place, which leads me to believe like, yeah, it's an enemy, it threatens your success, but it's really a market force or a time pressure. One guy I talked to, I said, what have you done in response? Have you lowered your prices? He said, no, I would never do that. He goes, however, because of the market forces, because of the weather and time, he's like, I have had to repackage the offer to add a different type of value because of the outcomes people are seeking in this economy, in this world, in this whatever, or whatever it might be. So, Michael, I like what you said. The enemy is comfort, procrastination, comfort, playing smaller. Those are all great, but I guess I also feel a little bit limiting beliefs, Timothy. I also feel a little bit like it's a bit surface. Like, of course, like when you say getting out of your own way, Reden, like, I agree. But it's a bit surface level. Like, you know what? It's me. I'm in my own way. I'm the one. I have my limiting beliefs. It's just, I got to, get on it. I got to stop procrastinating. But it's like, what is the real enemy beneath that, right? Like the process of asking more whys on that. Here comes Nick Simpson back. What did I tell you? Always comes back. I know his patterns. What are the whys beneath that? Let me mute Nick. There we go. He's good. What are the whys beneath that? So, like, what limiting beliefs do you have? Why do you have them? You know what I mean? Like if you were going to be in therapy of some sort, like it wouldn't be enough to be like, I have limiting beliefs. Like, oh, okay, well, let's do better at limiting beliefs. It'd be like, well, from where? Is it a childhood thing? Is it a failure that you experienced as an adult? Is it some level of conditioning? Is it I don't know? Is it something more emotional? Like, do you have any sort of issue emotionally or whatever it might be? So, Bill, I love this. For me, being in situations when things aren't too bad, where it probably would be better if it was bad. I like that, Bill, right? Like placing yourself in situations. But again, you could even go a level deeper. Like, where's that from? So being in situations where things aren't too bad, like where does that come from? Where in your life does that show up, right? So I always challenge people like take one thing away from any one of these things, and Redden's going to present a lot more, but just take one thing that you can put in place. One thing. Don't like I got to do all these things after this call. Just one thing today that you can put in place. And if it is that, if it is like, okay, identifying the enemy, if this discussion is part of it, like what threatens my success, and you're kind of defaulting to it's me, I would just take 5 minutes and start journaling out. Ask why, say 7 times. Maybe you won't get to seven, maybe it'll be four and you kind of have an epiphany. But I'll tell you this, the moment you hit an emotional inflection point where when you admit something and it makes you kind of like nod your head or maybe a gulp, kind of like swallow hard because you're getting emotional, like you're onto something as to where the real enemy is and how to kind of attack that. So anyway, just a thought I wanted to share, Red. And sorry to derail you, my friend.
No, I mean I think that's a good point when we talk about we gotta get out of our own way, but sometimes it takes like multiple people or multiple times for us to answer that question. Like, what is it specifically
Right.
that we're doing that,
It's deeper.
that we're in
It's
the
way
way? Yeah,
deeper than I'm in my own way. I'm procrastinating. I'm comfortable. Like, yeah, I
yeah.
get it, but why? Like, what's the enemy beneath the enemy beneath the enemy, right? Like, what's the core of it? It's like, I don't know. I can't even. I was gonna do a military analogy, but I've never been in the military, so it would probably end up being insulting or clumsy at best. So, we shall see. Anyway, I'll let you keep on rolling, my friend.
Yeah, so I mean, from this point, right? Like again, like in the military, like you have to know your your terrain. You have to know your battlefield to in order to win. So just like just like in business, in your business ventures, whatever it may be, you really have to dive deep into this because like as a business owner myself and me doing this coaching thing, right? Like we all want to do go and do everything ourselves and wear all these hats. But it's like we really need to focus within and kind of just I hate to go back to it, but like just get out of your own way and figure that
Mhm.
out how we can advance. So Jamie, what I wanted to do was maybe we can get somebody on the call and kind of, you know, do like a hot seat and maybe go over some of these questions so we can help somebody out.
I like that. So who's got, let me get my chat box up again. Who might want to like, hey, all right, I got my business or my portfolio or whatever it is. Who wants to work through this? Who's willing to be a volunteer to work through this entire framework for just identifying your current situation? Not even getting into the other MEAC part, but just situation.
Oh, there's
Greg,
Greg.
looking dapper, my friend. What you got?
As I'm already doing, yeah, I get to talk to Red and I are in the same pod, so I get to
Okay.
talk to him, frequently. So if somebody else wants to go in my place, that's totally fine.
Well, let's roll. I volunteer Tim, Michael says. We'll come to Tim. Let's go to Greg first, though. Go for it, Greg.
Okay. Um, so it's interesting. As I said, Reden and I talk quite a bit, but there's something that he and I haven't talked about. And just a quick background for those that don't that I haven't had a chance to talk to. I quit my W-2 back in January, started a business, bought it last July, and went in full time in January. Started out slow, but it's picked up in the last few months, and I'm kind of like in gear two, getting ready to move to gear three. Um, and what I feel like I'm struggling with is scaling. Um, and I feel like I can't get my mind to wrap itself around scaling as a system. So I'm thinking back to Benjamin Hardy's talk that many of us attended a couple of weeks ago, and how, when I read the book and I saw the examples, I had this visceral experience, like when those folks were talking about making a big change in what they were focusing on in their business, I could feel the difference in what they were doing. So I know how it's supposed to feel,
Hmm.
but from where I'm sitting in my own business, I'm not I'm struggling to make that leap myself and to get there. And it's a uh, home staging and furniture sales business.
Home staging for. Can you give us any context when you say about like was where it was, momentum in the last few months, like whatever this financially
Sure.
or what does that look like?
Yeah. So I'm in the Boston area. Um, it was fairly slow February, March, April, May. Um, Most of what we do, our main line of business is stages. It's a franchise, so we're all around the US. Um, but in June, it just exploded, and it was insanely busy June and July. A little bit of a lull right now. People are on vacation, but it's going to get busy again in September and October. So our main line of business is home staging. We stage for realtors, for builders, but we also sell furniture. So we sell everything we stage, and that's kind of the differentiator. So I'm not quite at the point where I'm breaking even. I think I'm going to get there soon. Um, and I'm looking ahead to like, okay, I can kind of see how this growth is going to go in terms of building capacity. I'm building out my team. I'm building out my systems. Um, but that's all linear growth. And I I feel like there's a better way to do it. But I feel like I am stuck.
Okay. Redden, I'll let you take it from here, man.
Yeah. All right. So, like Greg said, we're in the same pile. We talked quite a bit, but one of the things that I know he harps on is delegation, right?
Yeah.
And I'm putting your business out there, Greg. Letting go of that control, right? And focusing on what he needs to focus on to move the business forward. So, Greg, talk to me about as far as your when we going over these sections, the friendly forces, who is that in your team or your support system that's helping you out right now with your business? And are they full-time, part-time? What are they doing?
So I've got 4 team members. A number of them are good. A couple of them are really good. I know I need to get better at letting them do more. And I'm trying to get there. We just had a team meeting yesterday where I told them like, okay, I'm going to step back in this area and that area and that area, and I want you guys to step forward. And I'm going to have one-on-one conversations with you guys about what that looks like. So uh, I'm trying to push myself to do that.
Okay. Do you have, I guess, okay, so what's another question is like, what's keeping you up at night right now? Like if in the next 90 days, like things went wrong, things went to shit, what would be the cause of it?
Cash flow.
And so
Yeah.
how do we solve that problem?
I need to have enough. So what's happening is one more piece of the backstory. So we run inventory, and I'm out of inventory because, and by inventory I mean furniture, and I'm out of inventory, and so I'm drawing on a line of credit to get that inventory, and that line of credit's kind of like my last reservoir of funds to cover any expenses if we don't break even. So I'm still okay, but if I don't have the cash flow, if we don't get to break even and more soon, then that's gonna be imperiling the business long term.
So what's that one step that you need to take like today or this week to prevent that?
I need to get out there and talk to realtors,
Okay.
because that's thank you, Michael. That's really where a lot of the business comes from. It's really a relationship a business. It's really like trust. They have to meet you and get a sense of who you are. I was doing some of that earlier today. That's why I look like this. So it's really going out there and talking to agents and just selling the business one person at a time.
Greg,
So
I'm
when
curious, why haven't
okay,
you done that previously?
I did.
No,
you
you
said
said
it before.
you were
I
doing it,
stopped.
but like, what do you mean? When I hear I have to go do it, it means like it's maybe something you focused on for a bit, but it wasn't always the focus. You put some energy behind it. Now you're backing off of it. Am I hearing that wrong?
No, that's right. I
This
got
is where that
busy.
team part comes in.
Yeah, I got busy in June and July, and I was okay. It was 2 things. One, it's hard to do. It's cold calling. It's and and it was an easy excuse to back off. So I backed off in June and July. I was doing it on a daily basis. Cold calling and follow-ups and stopping by and talking to people. But I stopped in June and July. So
When did you start in earnest?
February.
Okay, and you bought the business in when?
The process took a few months. So I kind of signed, let's say, last August, and
Okay.
got my warehouse in November. Was doing things kind of on weekends and after work for the first few months, and went in full time in January.
So January full time, February, March, you're going out and cold calling agents and everything else like that. Your June and July success. I'm curious, did any of those customers come from the cold call efforts?
Um, all of them came from face-to-face contact, but it was a cold call that led to the okay to stop by and give information, which led to the okay to come and talk to agents and give a presentation, which then led to the agents reaching out to me. So the cold calling was like step one of four.
Okay. Cold calling it sucks. Like you said, it is the hardest thing, man. It is so freaking hard. Um, and it's funny how though you're seeing it as like the thing. I'm just gonna I want to break this down a little further. Is there anything you've done to get better at cold calling?
Yeah, I have a rap that I read.
Okay.
Um, and actually I hold myself to a certain number of contacts. And it's not like I do it for an hour. I do it till I get those contacts. If it takes me an hour, it takes me 2 hours or 3 hours. I got to keep going till I get them. And that motivates me to get it done.
Okay. All right, let's actually I want to ask people this as well. What I love that you just defined, like we talked about enemy, what threatens your success, right? It's you said cash flow. Yeah. Like obviously cash flow, no cash flow, no business. I mean, I completely get that. And then it's like getting out of my own way. And we talked about phrases like procrastination, this, that, and the other. But this is what I meant earlier. You just gave the perfect example of getting down to like, I need to cold call. And Reden might have taken it another step further. It's like, I need to delegate and train cold
Yes.
calling, right? So that I can scale out with however many of these 14 people making calls and doing all the things that they do. Um, so I want to ask now of everybody, what's that one thing you're avoiding that is central to your success? What is the one thing, one little thing that you're avoiding? That like the one phone call you're not making, the one interaction, the one person you haven't fired. What's the one thing is stymieing your success? Like I could tell you in my personal life, every year getting my taxes done is like the biggest block. I fucking hate it. I hate it. So I put it off to the very last minute and it sits on me. And if every time I clear it, it's like my productivity goes up, my sleep gets better, my everything, right? Like that's the one thing, like just prioritizing that one thing. So this year, I'm actually doing it right now, 2 months earlier than I normally do. I normally do. It's not October 15, it's August 15, which is great. So I'm ahead of it for once. But like, what is it, that one thing that you need to do that you're not doing? And you can't get away from this, guys. Drop it in the chat because I think Greg just shared something really, really funny. I mean, good, funny, like interesting. Like it's not, he's in his own way. It's not procrastination. It's like cold calls. He was doing them. And just like every business, every entrepreneur that does this, you increase your workflow, and then because you have increased workflow, you stop doing them to service the work because you're not delegating, right? And then it drops, and then you double back down on the effort. That is the cycle of most new business owners, me included. Absolutely the cycle. So what is that for you? Implementing the sales training. It's meant to be a sales with honor and integrity, but it feels too pushy. I've continued my own process. I need to model and then force a power hour upon my team as priority number one every day. Sean, I might use different language. I need to hold my team's face in their poo poo to make sure they know. No, I'm just kidding. I need to force a power hour. But yeah, like if you think that for you, a power hour that's really well done, kind of like a level 10 meeting in traction. What is traction called? Whatever the EOS, like a level 10 meeting in EOS, then absolutely. And what was the one before that? It was implementing the sales training. It's meant to be a sales with honor and integrity, but it feels too pushy. I've continued my own process. Yeah, Timothy, I would boil that down even further. Like implementing a sales training to me is like multifaceted and you're going to think about it. Whenever you have to think about it, it's not doable. But like, what's the one thing in that sales training that you need to do? Page one, whatever that might be. That's how I would think about that, just as a thought for all of you. So my apologies on getting everybody off track. But I love what you said, Greg. I love this idea that like, man, when I cold call, I get leads and my business takes off. And when I stop cold calling because I'm trying to service the business that I just got, then it goes away. And Reden's saying, hey, I don't know how many of the 14 could be making calls for you. Just thought. I thought that was interesting on the enemy side. So Reden, I apologize again, man. I apologize again.
So just to kind of go over all these, with the situation, right? So Greg, it seems like obviously you're in the building stage of your business. And it sounds like as far as like your enemy or your biggest threat, it seems like it's in internal, maybe like uh, a lack of system. When we go back into the cold calling, like, have I trained my people to cold call? I don't know. Have you done that?
I'm going to dance around that question. I would rather give them other things to do and have me do
Okay.
the cold calling. I think I'm I feel like as the owner, it's going to land differently when I'm reaching out and I'm making those contacts. And actually, when I think of giving things away, I think the sales part and the bringing in business part is something that I will always do, at least until I hand the business over to an operator, which I think is years down the road. So I think what would be best is for me to find more things I can give to my team so that I can always have the time to do the cold calling and the outreach and business generation.
So what is that? Like, name one thing that you can just hand off today, so you can focus on your cold calling.
So there's a part of our process where our movers will come and pick up the materials, and then they'll go to the job site. And I've been meeting the movers at the job site and kind of doing the first part of the job. And what I told my team yesterday is that I'm going to have them start to do that role. So I'm going to do it with them at first, and then they're going to do it on their own. And so I won't have to do that part, and that will save me many hours. That's one example.
Why do you feel like you have to do that first part with them, and instead of just delegating and just handing it off to your team?
I'm worried about quality. So far, we've had really good feedback. We have a really good track record. The people that we've worked with have really positive things to say about us. The people who visit the houses that are on the market comment on the staging. And I don't want that quality to fall. So I think I need to be hands-on, at least at first.
Do you have anybody in your team that you can trust that can do that or lead that?
You know, I may only need to go like once or twice, but I feel like I don't know that it's worth it to not make sure that it's done in a thoughtful way. If that
It
makes
seems
sense.
like you're still having like that control issue,
But
letting
that
this
much
go.
control is good.
Okay. But I'm saying though, is there somebody in your team that, hey, delegate that task to, and without compromising your service and what you give? Is there somebody that you know right now that that can do that?
Eventually, yes. I mean, not now, no.
So what do you need to do to let go of that task? What do you need to help them train with? Or
Hmm. Um, I mean, I know I need to let go more. Um, and I think oddly enough, I need to keep talking to them about it because I'm almost, it's almost like I'm building that reality for them that then I have to live up to. Like I'm telling them that, hey, I'm going to hand this off to you. Um, and so then I kind of need to do it. Otherwise, I'm being inconsistent with what I'm saying. If that makes sense.
anybody else have any comment for Greg with regards to kind of like what we're talking about? Um, Anybody want to kind of pitch in and kind of give maybe like
Sean
advice?
Heberly, what you got, Sean?
There you go.
There you
Hey,
go.
there we go. Can you guys hear me okay?
We got you.
All right, cool.
See,
So, Greg, I've seen this issue a bunch of times. And one of the things, like, this is my third business, the only one I've started from scratch. And the thing I think helped me the most was something I learned from teaching. I taught finance in my alma mater for 6 years. Um, you can try an approach where you ask the people performing these critical tasks, hey, hey, I'd like to review your work, but only after you feel it's at an A or A plus level. And then when they come to you and they're like, Greg, okay, I'm ready for you to look at what I did, you just ask them, is this A or A plus? And if they're like, it's A, you're like, come back to me when it's A plus. And you just kind of start doing that almost robotically at first. And then people sort of naturally adjust their expectations. And then when you do finally start making the time to review their work, it's like 10 times better than it used to be.
So kind of putting asking them to own that it's their best work.
Yes, exactly. Because look, the reality of work is your first deliverable is never your best. Never.
Yep.
Right.
There's an old story. Do you guys ever hear the story? It's I think it's a military thing. I could be wrong, but it was like a guy was asked to put together a presentation for his boss, and he walks in. I think this was a real thing. It might be from a book. He walks in and he hands the presentation to his boss, and then like an hour later he comes back and he goes, "Yeah, not good enough. Do it better." Right? And the guy takes it back. He's like, "You got no feedback." He's just like, "Do it better." Right? And then he does it. It makes makes a change. Comes back. Nah, do it better. And he does it like 3 times, like just brings it to him and he says, do it better, do it better, do it better without any specific feedback. And then the 4th time, like the guy comes back with the presentation and he's like, sir, I'm going to give this to you one more time. Like I can't, I'm out of ideas. I have nothing else I can even think of to do anything better here. And he goes, great. Now I'll actually read it. Right. Like that's kind of again, some people are like, oh, that's so good. That's so effective. If I'm the guy, I'm like, fuck you. Like I brought you this thing 4 times and then you didn't even read it, you asshole. Right. Like that would piss me off. But the point is, yeah, I think what you just said, I forget how you said it, Greg, but like, what did you say exactly? Say the words again.
Is it your best work?
Is it your best work? Yeah. Is that your best work? And if they say no, then great. They're being honest and probably can go back and do something a little bit differently. But that's really, really interesting. The other thing I wanted to jump in on, Greg, and I was looking for something real quick because I wanted to just kind of dive into a little more granular stuff. Thanks for that, Sean. Did I hear you say, as I was focusing on other things for a second, looking for this one thing I wanted to share with you, that you're kind of in the mode of like, hey, right now on like the cold calling and everything, like I want to be able to master it before I offload it and then, or not offload, but then bring people in to train them and then eventually offload it. Is that kind of your flow?
No, I don't want anybody else to do it but me.
Ever?
No. It sounds like a terrible idea to me.
Okay. That's fine.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Look, man, I think if you identify somebody did one of these calls and we had an elite guy on that talked to him and he said, look, man, if your best position is sales, then hire the operations. And if your best position is operations, then hire the sales, right? So
I think I'm the sales guy.
Yeah, if you're the sales guy, then be the sales guy. That's perfectly fine. I'll be honest, in the emerge world, I don't run things like Scott and Nick run I'm not good at that. Never been good at that, right? So like I'm more this. I get to be content, bring some energy. Like this is where I think I'm the best. I'm the best at, not in the world, but like the best for me in what I do with emerge, if you will. So if sales is the way you want to be, that's great. And I wonder like how many YouTube videos have you watched on cold calling or creative tactics for cold calling?
None.
Okay.
Sorry, I was reading Paul's.
Yeah. How many books have you read on cold calling?
On cold calling, none. I mean, I've read some on sales.
Yeah. But cold calling is the core of it. And I've seen some people, I was trying to find it. I've seen some people that have really interesting techniques for that initial cold call by like completely reversing the psychology of the moment. Not, hey, this is Greg from, Joey's Staging or whatever, but like literally getting on a call and being like, hey, yeah, listen, I'm cold calling you. I know you hate salespeople. I do too, but you talk to me for 5 minutes. That'd be cool. And people are so disarmed. I've seen this guy go on and do it like cold, literally cold with multiple people. And he just starts in like the opposite way of what everybody would expect. And it's brilliant. And then what also I see in that is it actually looks fun. It's like a game.
Right.
So if you're saying that your number one priority in your business, and this is for any of us, like all of you guys, what's the number one thing you think you need to do in your business, even if it doesn't make sense to the rest of the world or even to you right now? Like, what are you best in class at? And if it's like, I'm best at this, but I want to systematize my way out of it, that's okay. But like, what is it that you're the best at in your business or in your world or in your portfolio? Is it managing your property? Is it dealing with employees? Is it customer service? Like, what is it that you're best in class at in your business? Drop that down below real quick. I want to really see what everybody's saying. But whatever that thing is, come on. I see you guys are fist on chin here. You guys, all of you have a superpower in your business. What is it? Stop fucking being passive. What is it? What is your superpower in your business? What are you the best at? If it all burned down and you needed to get in there and fuel the business, what's the one role you're going to play? Because you're just the best at that. Sales,
It's like
building relationships, sales, underwriting.
underwriting.
Highly, I like that. What else? There's 3 people. Operations. Good, Tyler. You were the guy with his freaking chin on his fist that I was looking at. Strategy.
Strategy.
What else? What else? Give me a couple more. Deal making. I
Deal
love it.
making.
Genuinely connecting with people. So the people connection side. Cool. So then the question becomes for me on something like this, and for you, Greg, like if cold calling is what you're saying, like not only do I not want to hand it off in the short term, I never want to hand it off. Then, God damn it, you better be eating, drinking, vomiting, cold calling. Like you better know not sales. Sales is one thing, but in order to get to the influential part, you got to win that call. Like it should be what you're maniacally studying every single day. Like for me personally, like my thing is content creation. Like I watch Colin and Samir videos on the creator economy constantly. I'm going to their goddamn conference in September. I don't even know what's going to happen there. I just know that being in that room is better than not, and it's what a guy that says YouTube is his platform and he can build a business there does. So what is the guy that says I'm going to build a $10 million business and I'll be in a corner. No one knows I'm the owner. I'm Eddie Van Halen playing the guitar while Sammy Hagar sings. Some of you have no idea what that means. You're too damn young.
I'm thinking David Lee Roth.
David Lee Roth. Sorry, there you go. He was even before Sammy Hagar, wasn't he? Wasn't he the original? That shows our age right there. Sebastian's like, I don't know what a Van and a Halen are. Is that like some sort of, is that from Dodge? Who makes a Van Halen? I've never heard of this before. Anyway, if you're going to be Van Halen and let Sammy Hagar be out in front, you're going to be $10 million and you're in a cold office, cold calling all day, then you better be fucking telling me that you're doing like the most of anybody ever studying that craft. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yep.
There's your enemy, guys. So deal making, Sean, if you're the deal maker, I assume and trust that you're fucking all in on the deal making stuff. That's all you do. Genuinely connecting with people. Sebastian, if connection is the thing, dude, I've made a career out of connection. I've made a freaking career out of it. I completely align with that. Strategy, Matt. Like, what does that mean? How do you get better at it? Do you have systems? Do you have things like SMEAC in place that you've implemented around strategy, operations, keeping things organized, underwriting? Like, are you the best damn underwriter? Are you networking with underwriters? You know? Like if you're going to do the thing that fuels the business, talk about scaling, in my mind, you better be all in 360, everything around you, the people you interact with, the stuff you intake, you better be maniacal. It's what's his name? Mamba mentality. Kobe.
Yeah.
You know? That's all that dude did. You ever hear him talk about the math equation of basketball? Everybody does 2-a-days. So I figure if I get up at 4 a.m. and I do a third one, so I do 3-a-days, and then I do that for a year. That gives me this many more sessions. And then I do that for 10 years. You can't catch me. I'll never forget him saying that. It's like, it's just a math equation. Yeah, there's skill, but it's just a math equation. If I make 1,000 calls a day, it's a lot, but if I make 1,000 calls a day, every day for the next year, and I keep doing that for the next, after that, I do it for the next year, in 5 years, like you can't catch me. I'm going to be doing staging for the entire New England, New York area. I'll be the only guy, I just think we need intensity, guys. We're going into like late third, mid third quarter. It's August. Everybody's stretching out. It's vacation time. And it's like, I'm not saying you have to do more or throw shit aside or not go on vacation or not spend time with your kids the last 2 weeks before they go back to school. I'm not saying that at all. But I do think that like intensity focused is such an important dynamic that many of us miss sometimes because like Bill said, we get cozy and comfortable. So Greg, I'll be honest with you, man. Like I feel like your solution is super simple. Like go be the best fucking cold caller on the planet, not salesman. Sales come with like reps, but you need the reps.
Right.
How do you convert 100 calls, cold calls? You get 5 responses. How do you make that 8? Like that's the maniacal data. Because if you get 8, that's 3 a day over 20 days in a month. That's 60 more leads a month. That's 60 times 12. Was that 720 more leads a year? You know what I mean? Just going from 5 to 8 out of 100.
That sounds like the linchpin, Jamie. Yeah.
Reden, I've taken you completely off the rails.
Well, Greg, we kind of talked about this on the last pod call. Is like this is the time of year in your business, right? Where it's kind of like everybody's slowing down.
August and December.
August, yeah. So it's like,
Everyone can make hay in August and December. And all that means is don't do your New Year's resolution Jan 1, do it December 1. Make your goals ready and starting December 1 is the beginning of the year. And then in August, all it means is like take that time to double down on whatever it is you're doing because everybody else is taking halftime in that month. You know? Like you hard now, easy later. Hard now, easy later. That's for all of us. And I don't mean to keep hijacking it, but I'm really curious. When we talked about become the very best, are you maniacal? Are you interacting with people in the space that you need to be? Are you at cold call conferences, if there were such a thing? Whatever it is. What is that for some of you? And I'm not going to let you sit there and just stare at the screen. What is the thing? Something triggered in some of you, at least two of you said, yeah, fuck, you know what? I'm not Mamba mentality, if you will, on underwriting. I'm not Mamba mentality on something. What is that thing for some of you as you're hearing this? Greg's going to go learn everything there is to know about cold calling. He's going to follow Jeremy Minier. Do you know Jeremy? Is it Minier or Minor? Do you know him?
No.
Well, you better. He's going to follow Andy Elliott and see what kind of a tool he is. But whatever, he's in the sales space. He's going to follow Brad Lee. He's going to follow these people and learn, Alex Hormozy, how to effectively cold call. What are some of the things that you guys need to do? It's August. We got half the month left. One commitment to the thing that is the fuel for whatever it is you're trying to do. Cold call commercial real estate owners. I love it, Sebastian. Like really get after it. Do the same study. Find a way to gamify it. Make it fun. Sebastian's the only guy taking action in August.
hitting my daily
Outreach goals. Sebastian and Greg are the only guys taking action. The one we've been talking to, and then the only guy that's typing shit. What else?
get a property under contract before then.
Bad goal, highlight. You can't do that.
Yeah.
That's not something you can control. That's an outcome.
That, yeah.
You can underwrite 50. You can underwrite 100. You can reach out to a certain number of people to get the deals, but that's an outcome-based goal. It's a lag goal.
That's a good one. Messages.
10 CPAs a day on LinkedIn messages. Paul, go after it. Just Paul, be succinct. Okay? I know you get long in the, hey, I'm Paul. You know, I was thinking about, no, just be succinct, Paul. Who else? Overcoming objections, dissecting what the root cause is and conquer it. Tim, I like that. So, Tim, real quick, unmute. Dive into that a little bit. When you say that, getting the best at that, what do you mean? Give me like what comes to mind? Like what could you do?
So right now I only ask for the sale probably once. So when I ask for the sale once and they say no, then figuring out what it is that their objection is. Is it price? Is it time frame? Is it the quality of the product? And then if it is price, what can I do to overcome that? Or if it's the quality of the product, do I need to revisit what my options are?
Let's come back to you, Sean. I have some thoughts. I'm Sean. Sorry, I'm reading Sean. Tim, I have some thoughts. Building a 12-week plan for my team, me and my team, that will prioritize actively engaging with prospects each day so that we can kick this off Tuesday after Labor Day. I love it. Ramp up my CRM and sales funnel with Chris Pierce. Cool, Chuck. Go after that. Underwriting 10 properties every week until I get a property under contract. Much better, highly. And actually fucking do it. Delegate as much on my plate as possible to focus on driving revenue. Jared, one thing. What's one thing you need to delegate right now? As much on my plate is a big thing. What's one thing you can delegate? And then weekly email blast to clients and prospects. Matt, that's amazing. When's the last time you sent one of those? He's typing it 2 weeks ago. Okay. Well, today's this week. You could do it. I'll leave you. I'll tell you what, we'll jump. You jump off at 4:58 and write the email. You will have wasted no other time on your calendar. Jamie coming with accountability and heat. Well, it's just, guys, look, man, I look, there's been 3 or 4 members this month that have committed to joining Elite from Emerge, which is amazing. One of them's on this call. I won't shout them out until they decide they want to announce it. I love that. I love seeing that people are starting to get there. And then I'm looking at the patterns and the trends. And the patterns and the trends of the people that are like hitting that million status, moving up to the next level and doing all of that is this. There's no I'm gonna, they just do. They just do. So all of this stuff is amazing. I love that you guys are committing to this. Payroll scheduling. Jared, I love that. All right, back to Tim real quick. I want to throw this in there. Where's Tim? Overcoming objectives, dissecting what the root causes and conquer it. Here's what I would tell you. We are in an era where, and I think you know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. We are in an era where people don't buy features, they buy transformation, not outcomes, transformation. So whatever it is you're selling, what are you selling?
Plumbing,
Plumbing. What kind of plumbing?
residential service. So basically anything in the home,
Oh my
plumbing
God.
wise,
So you're selling product or service?
service.
Service contracts, fixing things, all of that?
Yep.
Oh my God. And how are you making calls, or how are you getting clients right now? Are you stopping by homes? What are you doing?
So we stop by homes. We don't do anything remote. We have to go there and do a visual inspection. And then from there, we're providing at least 3 options. And being service only, we tend to be double or triple what construction plumbers are.
I'm sorry, I didn't. How do you initially get in touch with the prospect?
Through phone.
So you call them.
They call us.
They call you. So you've got what? Are you, Facebook ads? Like, how are you getting them to call you?
Facebook, Google, LSA, the whole 9 yards on the Meta, and local marketing.
So I'm guessing that you have, okay, hey, we can do this for you. Call us. They call you, and then they just want to know, like, okay, how much is that? Oh, did he freeze? Or is he just really thinking right now?
I think he's frozen.
Yeah, he must be frozen. Man, it was about to get good too. Do you think he's just like, I don't want to hear him talk anymore, and he's literally just staring us down? Like, if I see something in the background move, that would be hilarious, right? Just like a dog walks by, you see the tail drift by. Wow, what timing! What terrible timing. Seeing if there's anything else on here that's that we could dive into till he comes back. Anyway, guys, I think what Reden's presenting here is a really specific deep dive on the situation that you're in, and then this dissection of like, where am I? What's the enemy? Who are the key stakeholders in all of this, right? Like the team, the systems, the processes, right? Like to be able to do that, to dissect this down to that level, and then like what we did with Greg here, you can see how something like this works. We got down to Greg needs to do cold calls. And even more importantly, Greg needs to figure out the most effective way to cold call. He needs to become a cold caller. Here comes Tim. He's coming back. That's what this sort of thing can do. Leadership is 80% awareness. Oh, Reden, here's a summary of the questions to go over. Yeah, copy that, guys. Drop it in a note. Tim, you just decided, you had enough?
Building got struck by lightning. We lost power. So
For real?
Oh, wow.
hopefully it didn't fry my computer.
Was I all that? Was I too into this whole thing?
It must have been.
That's hilarious. Real quick, let's just wrap it up on this for a second. So they call you and they say price is too much, or how much is it? Is that kind of the flow?
So yeah, they call us. They usually have an issue and they want us to come out and address it. We won't do any pricing over the phone. We tell them we need to send a technician out to evaluate what's going on. Then when we go there, say it's a toilet flapper, we'll try and sell them, here's base option, toilet flapper, partial toilet rebuild, complete toilet rebuild, toilet replacement, and then, try and sway them towards the better or the best options.
Okay. What's the struggle with the overcoming objections? You said it's like price. So like, tell me, what is the most common price objection, or is price the most common objection? And what is the most common price objection?
Yeah, a lot of people, it'll be a lot more than they're expecting.
A lot more than they're expecting. Okay. Do they, how much more typically? Like, what are they expecting? Do you have any sense?
A lot of times people think our services, are in the $200 to $500 range, and we're usually, we start out at 5 or 6 and then go all the way up from there. But I mean, that's what it costs to get a fully stocked truck out to somebody's location in my area.
Okay. So what's been the most effective way for you to overcome those objections? Lightning struck again. We might have to revisit this on another call with Tim. While he's figuring that out, Reden, what else do we need to know? What other thoughts or takeaways should we have before we end the call? By the way, Matt should be going so that he can write his email.
No, I mean, I just dropped the summary in the chat. Just kind of like reflecting, whether it's just you or with a team. do this like on a monthly basis, because we all know like with business things change. So just know where you're at in your life cycle, in your business. Who's that number one threat from your progress, whether that be internal or external? And then the thing that we really didn't dive into is like, is your team aligned with the mission, that the goals that you have? Like, are you reviewing those goals that are you sharing those goals with your team members, and making sure that they're aligned with that? And yeah, just making sure that the mission is clear for everybody. So
I love it. It's in the chat. Copy it, drop it in a note or something, your notes app on your computer.